Agnes, you want to get in here?
Agnes McCann from Cohasset. You're for all the right stuff, and I'm encouraged at everything you know that you can say that you've done in office. But I think it's true, you're really up against it, because you're running on merit. How boring. You know, you don't invite your friends in to show them that you organized your closet, because you're supposed to do that. You know, and you're doing all these things that somebody should have been supposed to do, but you can't run on the fact that they didn't. I mean, you can, but it'll be tricky. And the other thing that jumps out at me is it's sort of like, you know, it'll be an election, but it's an American Idol world. It's no coincidence that he had some personal connection with the American Idol experience, and selling and staging and flash and glam instead of the good stuff.
You didn't see my barn coat, my new Chevy Colorado pickup truck. My friend Jim McGovern he spoke down to the Attleboro Area Chamber of Commerce, and he got up and he said, "Let me just assure you one thing." He said, "No one ever associated the name Jim McGovern and hunk." Or use it in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Listen, there always has been a certain amount of theater and packaging and campaigns, you know, going back to its earliest days. I mean, some of it used to be around songs and kind of slogans, and there's always an element about that. So you have to, your point is, you can't dismiss it. It's part of the game. But I do think that voters maybe are frustrated. There's a level of anger in certain quarters. There's certain anxiety. And you've got to address that. And I think you have to speak to that. And as Democrats, we should be able to. So I think most people know that education is incredibly important to their future and their kids' future. They know how important health care is. They know how important issues, you know, around economic development and jobs are, and the environment. And we've got a good story to tell there, but we've got to be able to tell it in ways and means that people can understand. But I know that people aren't stupid either. And so I think if you're honest with people and you make the case, and try to appeal to something in people that we've gotten away from in too many different levels of government, which is kind of a commitment to generational responsibility. You know, it's frightening. Some recent polling showed that, you know, parents and adults today think their kids' future is going to be is not going to be as promising as their own. That's like one of the first times that's ever happened in American history. And I would argue that some of the reason we've gotten to that point is that our politics has become too much, you know, just get to the next election, you know, how do we, you know, today's media cycle, and we haven't said, and how do we make decisions today that are in the best long-term interest of the Commonwealth? And we might not be here 10 years from now when, you know, the student right now, you know, who's in high school taking advanced placement exams, and because, you know, we're making college more affordable in Massachusetts and investing state-of-the-art facilities, maybe he or she discovers a cure to cancer or something, you know? We're not going to be there for that groundbreaking. Maybe at the new $420 million Life Sciences Center in Worcester that's going to break ground. You know, maybe it's some scientist there, Alzheimer's, whatever it is. You know, that's a long-term thing. Fixing the bridge and the roads, that's not sexy, but that's going to last another 50 years. So, you know, we as Democrats have always believed in generational responsibility, leaving things better off than the way we found them. And there's value to that. We've got to communicate that to people and tell them that. And that's what I think this campaign is going to be about. And I think it's the cornerstone of this campaign is about who's being honest with people. And that's what we got to do.
We have a question down here, Bruce.
Bruce Bridges from Norwell. I'm puzzled by, I think you mentioned that this was a national election.
Senate race, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it seems to me that perhaps we even got caught up in a larger one. I look at our primary where we had Bain Associates, or whatever the name of that outfit is, candidate running and spending a lot of money. And then Shawmut Associates, is it, that ran the